The following story has been brought to you by StoriesToInspire.org.
There's a very famous fundraiser, Rav Stillerman. He raised millions and millions of dollars for yeshivas everywhere. When he was 63, I think, years old, he finally retired from his fundraising. And he went to the Mir Yeshiva, the Rosh Yeshiva, Rav Nosson Tzvi Finkel, and he said to him, I want to learn all of Shas. I want to learn all of Torah. But you know what? I gave my entire life to fundraising for institutions, and all the time I should have spent learning, I gave it. How? How? Because I want my piece. Rav Nosson Tzvi Finkel said to him, come back to me with a plan. The same way you were so planned out, the same way that you were so perfect in your fundraising, that you always had a plan with everybody you went to, you had an Excel just spreadsheet out there to go and do it. Come back to me with a plan if you're serious about it. And he came back, and if I remember correctly, the plan would take 23 years. And Rav Nosson Tzvi said, I give you a bracha that you should live that long with health and happiness to finish it. He's still in the middle of his journey now, of ticking off the box every single day of something else that he learned. It's possible. Lo b'shamayim hi. It's not in heaven. It is possible. It's possible. It's possible. Butchie Sutton, my brother's father-in-law. I'm going to embarrass him online. When he grew up in New York, Bensonhurst. He used to play stickball with the Italians. And one day somebody pulled him into the Mir Yeshiva, like the 1950s, the 1960s in Brooklyn, and taught him Gemara, and he liked it. He liked it so much that he decided, I'm going to finish it. This is a guy who is a businessman, clean-shaven, he's seen the world, and he went and started to learn, not Daf Yomi, that was too hard for him. He learned one side of the page each day. Amud Yomi, as they say. It takes 14 years to finish Shas. When he finished Shas, he made a big siyum, and everybody was amazed. Look at this, Butchie Sutton finished Shas. He wasn't done yet. Another 14 years. 28 years from when he started, he finished it a second time. And I was there by that second siyum. I was younger. I was like 18 or 19 at the time. And that's when the iPod, remember the classic, the one with the wheel, had just come out. And he paid somebody a lot of money to get all of Shas. And he was saying, look, you can get all of Shas. And everywhere I go with this, and I learn. He wasn't done yet. This time, he said, all right, I'm ready for the Daf Yomi. And he finished Shas a third time, 7.5 years later. On his own, not with the Daf Yomi cycle, on his own. And I was there by that third siyum too, because he did it in Israel. He flew in his children. All of his children's married, meaning all of his kids were married, so he flew in them and their husband or wives. He flew in all his grandkids, and he flew in his great-grandkids. That El Al plane check-in over there must have taken forever. But he brought them all to Israel. And I had the zechut to be there by that siyum. And oh, was that a siyum. It was at the Kotel at night. And I remember the whole family, 50 people at least, packed around. And he was about to start the Kaddish, and it started pouring rain. And I thought to myself, Hashem, honestly, you couldn't wait 5 minutes? The poor guy just up the whole family. But like always, Hashem said, Ari, give me a minute and let me show off. So we all packed into, everybody's been to the Kotel, so you have the Ma'ara, you have the cave that everybody goes to the side, beautiful over there. We all pack in over there. But guess what? The entire Kotel, everybody praying Arvit, then also packed in over there. Hundreds of people all packed in, and the place was packed. And then we went to the end, and he started to do his Hadran. He started to do his siyum, his finish of Shas. And people started to ask, what's going on? And they said, that man finished Shas. And they said, finish Shas? That's impressive. They said, he finished it 3 times. He said, what now? He said, yeah. Now he finished it 3 times, 30-something years. He's been learning every day straight. All the Israelis, everybody, they couldn't. And when he finished that siyum, the entire Ma'ara, we erupted with Simon Tov. Everybody started dancing. Like crazy people, strangers, everybody jumping up and down like wild. And I had that moment, and I love this moment. You know, a lot of people like dancing at a wedding. I'm a terrible dancer. I wish at weddings they would just give out name tags that says not a dancer. Just not a dancer. It's not that I don't want to dance. I don't want to ruin everything. I don't. You put me inside that little thing over there, and everybody's going to break a leg all at the same time. It's the way it goes. I have no rhythm. But the part I like about a wedding, the part I like about this, I was able to take a step back, and look at it. And taking that experience for that moment of a life well lived, of a man who made a decision 30-something years ago that he said to himself, remaining small is not an option. You think he had time? You think that he had time? The man ran an incredibly busy and Baruch Hashem successful paper company. You think he had time? He and his wife have gone and they've seen the entire world. And it's a very famous thing. Wherever they went, from Banff to China, made no difference. She's an incredible, Susan Sutton, she's an incredible painter, an incredible artist. She would show up with her paints. They would find a beautiful scene in Switzerland. She would set up her easel and she'd get lost in her world. He would come with his chair, sit down, open up his Daf Yomi and get lost in his world. And they were both at peace. And they did this as they traveled everywhere. A life well lived. A life that decided, I'm going to look up to the Merkava, and I'm not going to say I can build an ox and just be there. It's 500 years. But you know what? I can make it. I can traverse these 500 years from myself to God if only I take out a little time each day and I start and I begin.